Hi, everyone. Today we're talking about the freedom of speech and if it should be censored. So I have two different approaches to censorship. There are times where I feel that we should be censored and times that I feel that we should not be censored. And let me first of all say that I'm very grateful for having my right of not being censored and being able to say some things. With that being said, I did look up what the First Amendment said about censorship. And one of the things that it said is that censorship was not limited in the context of obscenities. And I'm not quite sure that I understand what that means. Some of the information seemed that it was pornographic in nature, but I'm not sure if that was freedom of speech. So I'm not sure if I'm understanding that correctly, but that is the information that I found. One of the other things that I found in our textbook, the challenge of effective speaking in a digital age, on page 9 and 10 was talking about the rhetorical situation. A rhetorical situation is when you encompass many different avenues where it showed the picture of the circle and then you had the other little circles in it, and how right in that center where everything came together was the rhetorical situation where everybody was in agreement. And I feel that censorship of self gives you the ability to find a positive rhetorical situation. With that, what it said on page 10 was the eloquence of the words is irrelevant if the words are not heard by, are not understood by, or do not affect the people whom you are speaking to. And that's what it said on page 10. So I believe that in a rhetorical situation, our words really do matter. And if we don't censor ourselves, nobody's going to hear what we have to say. We are allowed to have our opinions as long as everybody understands that their opinions can be offensive. And if we can find a way to be passionate about our opinions without being offensive, then that's when I think we can get our message across. And maybe when we don't have to have a true censorship, but more of a censorship of self. One of the things that I also loved was reading some of those passages from the Bible. Ephesians 4:29 is our family motto. Sadly, we do not live up to not speaking badly all the time. I tend to find myself speaking better when I'm talking to my clients than I do to my own children. And that's something that we strive to work really hard on in our family. So I loved being able to see Ephesians 4:29, James 3:3, and Proverbs 15:1-7. It's a really good reminder that we need to bite our tongues so that we don't come across as bullies. I think, again, that comes back to censoring ourselves. And I think that's the best solution. With that being said, I am very, very grateful for my freedoms to be able to say that I am offended by actions for the politics that are happening. And it's I'm glad I'm not censored by being able to say how much I despise the political craziness that's going on right now. The same freedoms that allow me to say that are the same things that I wish we had a little bit more censorship with some of the things that the media is reporting that make our president look like a bully. I do not agree with what he says. I hope that it's not true. I wish that it was censored a little bit more, so maybe there'd be a little bit more unity in the United States right now instead of there being so much disconnect between the liberals and the conservatives. I do tend to be a little bit more liberal in my philosophies, so I really hope that what is being said is not true. So I do wish that was being censored more, but I'm very grateful that because we live in the United States, that I can say those things and there's no recourse for me being able to say this and put it on YouTube and have everybody in my class or even worldwide see what I have to say. So I'm very, very thankful that that is not being censored, and I don't have recourse because of that. But I do believe the biggest thing that we can do, even based off of what we read between those three passages, and then the golden rule about doing unto others as we would wish they would do unto us, shows up in both Luke and Matthew. It is Matthew 7:12 and Luke 6:31. Remind us about the golden rule and doing unto others as we would want them to do unto us. So if we can censor how we make somebody feel or what we're saying, then I think that that's a positive thing. So that's my feeling on censorship and our freedoms, and I hope everybody's having a wonderful evening, and I'll see you guys again next week.